I can still see it as clearly as if it were happening now. We were in the kitchen. No yelling, no fight, just this heavy tension hanging in the air. The dinner plates sat on the counter where we'd left them untouched. She leaned back against the sink, arms folded, wearing that distant, practiced expression she perfected over the past few months. Then she said it. Other men want me. Not with anger. Not even as a confession. Just calm, deliberate words meant to sting. She wasn't looking for honesty. She wanted a reaction. But I didn't give her one. I didn't question her. I didn't accuse her. I just stared, not at my wife, not at the woman I had built 7 years of my life with, but at a stranger who had been living under my roof, sleeping in my bed, pretending to love me while slowly shutting me out piece by piece, until nothing was left but the shell of what we once were. That was the moment I realized she was already gone, not in body, but in heart and mind. What we hadn't shattered overnight. It had been fading quietly for a long time. All that remained was the hollow echo of what used to be. I didn't yell. I didn't throw anything. I didn't even ask her why. I simply nodded, walked to the bedroom, packed a small bag, grabbed my keys, and left. No scene. No explosion. Just silence. That night, I drove 3 hours north to the cabin my uncle had left me years ago. It was worn down, half forgotten, but it had power, peace, and no cell service. Exactly what I needed. The first night, I sat there replaying everything I'd ignored. The late nights at work, the way she stopped laughing at my jokes, her phone always face down on the table. I remembered our last anniversary. I planned the night, poured the wine, but she spent half of it answering messages. Already halfway gone. I told myself she was just tired. That work was draining her. But deep down I knew I was the one exhausted. Exhausted from carrying the weight of us alone, from trying to keep something alive that she'd already let die. Days slipped by in the cabin, each one quieter than the last. I didn't call. I didn't text. I left her to the men she claimed were waiting. By the second week, her email started. Short clip lines. Where are you? Are you okay? Can we talk? I didn't respond, not out of spite, but because I finally understood there was nothing left to fix. By the third week, the emails grew longer. She wrote that she hadn't meant it, that she'd been angry, that she felt invisible. She said she only wanted to feel wanted, that she thought I didn't care anymore. But I had loved her, deeply. I was just tired of proving it to someone who treated my love like leverage. She tested me, baited me, pushed me, and eventually I stopped playing her game. A month passed. When I finally came back to the city, I didn't go home. I rented a small apartment and started fresh on my own terms. She didn't even know I was back. Then, one afternoon, I saw her at the grocery store. She looked thinner, drained, alone. Her eyes widened when she spotted me. I gave a polite nod and kept walking, but she reached out and touched my arm. "Please," she whispered, "can we talk?" I looked at her the same way I had that night in the kitchen, like a stranger. This time, though, her regret was real. It wasn't hidden under anger or games. It was raw, honest, but I had nothing left to give her, so I stayed silent. I just walked away. She had wanted to feel desired, and she got what she wanted, attention from other men. What she didn't expect was to lose the one man who had stood beside her long, before she even knew she needed someone to stand beside her. She thought I'd chase her, beg her, prove myself again. But I didn't. I disappeared. Because not every man stays when he's treated like an afterthought. Some of us leave and let silence be our answer. She learned the hard way that loyalty doesn't scream for recognition. It's quiet, steady, until it's gone. And when it's gone, the emptiness it leaves behind is louder than any words. She wanted to feel wanted. She got that. But in return, she lost the one man who truly loved her.